Hello, I am Pardisilios, and today I am practicing painting in preparation to paint a gift for my parents. This painting will be my fifth attempt, as I always end up throwing the painting away because I feel like it's not good enough. But this time I'm determined, and have motivated myself by saying that I will gift this painting regardless of how good it is. The stress will fuel my endeavour. I started off doing some quick gouache studies to loosen up. Whenever I use these or acrylic paints, the final product is often quite stylised compared to my other traditional art. Even though I tried to go more realistic for the second painting, it just looked off to me, and so I decided to switch to watercolour. I wanted to draw this tiger because 1, I think they're cool, and 2, because I wanted to try painting the white of its fur, as I later am going to be painting a white wedding dress, so I want to prepare a little. When painting in watercolour, I often catch myself starting to focus on the details, and using the brush just like I would a pencil, and not making the most of the medium. But that's something I'm trying to work on. When painting the body, I kind of blanked out and painted the stripes without planning to, so it made the paint a little muddy as it bled into the orange later on. This painting was alright. While I wish I pushed the colours a little further, I do like how the white fur came out. The eyes are a nice balance of being simple but readable. What damages the final painting, I think, is the background, so I'm going to watch some videos and research watercolour techniques before the next painting. I decided that it would be time to actually paint a person, but I was intimidated, so I went for a statue. For the background, I used wet on wet techniques to make it smooth, and then used wet on dry with a damaged brush to create blobs that resembled leaves. I bought a thing called masking fluid, which is a liquid that dries into a thin layer of what feels like silicone. This keeps the area white, and so I used it as a border between the foreground and the background. I used mainly a blue and orange paint for the statue and just mixed them together to create a grey. This was because I heard that a limited colour palette can be helpful when painting. I couldn't help myself but add a dab of purple in some places though. I picked this reference image because I liked the lighting, but I also ended up really enjoying painting her robe. While I don't really enjoy making art of people, I do really love drawing and painting fabric folds. I wanted to push the definition of the statue a little further, and so resorted to adding pencil over the top of the finished painting. The anniversary day was approaching, and so I had to get a start on the painting that I had been putting off for years. The original picture that I chose was really nice, and so I knew that it was the one that I was going to paint. However, there were some issues, such as the dress being just one big shape of pure white, and the lighting being so even that it was hard for me to see planes of the different shapes. I was most nervous about the faces and kept going back to them, painting and dabbing off what I just did, and I think that my lack of confidence is fairly evident. However, I am really happy with how the hair and clothing turned out. I found that I actually really liked adding extra colours into them. I used a clean, hardish flat brush to scrub highlights, which really tied it all together. A lot of the folds in the dress was me exaggerating them, however, I was in the zone and it turned out alright. I am really happy with this, and it's motivated me to try again next year for their anniversary and see if I can do even better. Now, this video is coming to an end and it's almost time for you to go. If you're an artist, or even if you aren't, go make something for someone you love. It doesn't have to be as high effort as a full painting, as I'm sure they'd appreciate anything. But if not, then make something for yourself. That's all from me. Thanks for sticking to the end. Sweet dreams, and make sure to chase them. Goodbye!